Hey, this is Pastor Tabitha Purple. I'm doing the tops and tips for parents who are at home, and today's tops and tips is art. So I have built the schedule for the children. As you know, I believe in the schedule. It's working very well. It has enough flexibility and room that if we need to do other things, we can do that. But the children have a definite time and sense of when is eating time, when is studying time, and when is free time, and then they have this more relaxed attitude to the day. So I'm sticking with that. But what I have done is I have built in art time. Now I have one child who loves art, and if you saw the message earlier, you would have seen another child who does not like art and who will have big tears in his eyes and is not about the art. He did not want to do this. And so my tip about art is, the question he asked me is, Mummy, why is art so important? Why have you made this a part of my day? You know, at school I don't have to do it every day. I just do it once a week. But you're making me do something every day with art. And granted, the art will change over the weeks. It'll be different. I believe in art of all types. And I said to him that I think that art is foundational to learning, painting, sculpting, music, literature, art as in drawing, and all of those different types of art that you get. Anything where you're creative, I believe, is foundational to a learning experience because it opens up the brain in a different way. And maybe at some point we'll do longer videos that talk about how the brain develops and how educationally it's really important that children have a well-rounded education. But for now, this is just tops and tips. And I think that the point I wanted to get over to him was that art is really important. It's really foundational. And he thought of art as just drawing. And he said, I don't really like drawing. And I was like, yes, but you like sculpting, you like music, you like reading books, and these are all the arts. They're forms of creativity, they're forms of expression. You like comics, you like cartoons. These are all things that are based on an artistic expression in one way, shape, or form, and it's really important. But because I know that art is not his favorite subject, I know that art can be challenging for him, I know that penmanship is not his favorite thing, I had to think about what is good for him. And he is a math lover. He really does like math. He enjoys pushing himself. He enjoys learning different things. He enjoys really getting out there and doing something. And so what I decided to do is that we're going to do this thing called math art. Now, I don't know if this exists. I'm going to start scouring the internet tomorrow to try and find more math art. But I wanted to find art that incorporates concepts, mathematical concepts, things that he could see that art makes you think in different ways. It makes you think about subjects maybe in a way that you haven't thought about before. But being a well-prepared, like apocalyptic mother that I am, I have every book on my shelf. So I found this one. It's called Hoekjes. That's the Nederlandse naam for it. So that's the Dutch name for it, and it's about out-of-the-box drawing. But what I had loved about it when I bought it is that it has concepts of space in there. It has things about how rocks work. It's got lots of like dimensional drawing with, you know, different kinds of paper. I don't know if you can see that very well, but then you've got like circles, triangles, and how can you fit them together, which is about geometry. It's about shapes, it's about engineering, it's and it's in how you talk about it. And of course there's more expressive things in here as well, but a lot of it can be applied in a scientific way. You know, it has graph paper which gives you a different dimension. We looked at this one and he found this really interesting because it's about how perception and depth perception, and how you can manipulate depth perception in a flat piece of paper, and how you can change the shapes in order to make it appear as if there is depth. And when we started talking about that, he was really interested in that mathematical concept of depth, of course, and how you can manipulate shapes to make things appear in different ways, and then looking at the percentages of how the shapes could change. So it's a really interesting book in that regard, and it really brought up some great mathematical kind of conversations. So this is something that we're developing at home. I'm going to look and see if some other clever person has developed math art, because while math is a very fun subject, I haven't done it for a while, so it may take me a hot minute to figure out what math art looks like. But I think it's really about looking at things from a different angle and really tailoring it to my child. And I was able to do that because I had thought about him and I've gotten to know him. And I think it's really important that we really think about our children at this time. I think, well, although they have goals from school and they have things that they have to achieve, how can we actually facilitate their learning? Because it's not really that they have to learn a set curriculum, but they do have to continue learning, and they can catch up on curriculum if they've kept their mind open to the learning process. If their mind has been expanded to new ideas and new concepts, then it's not such a jump to say, okay, we're going to catch up on this curriculum very quickly, because actually they may come to it in a fresh way. They may feel differently about it when they return to school. And so this was just a really great tip for working with kids, trying to figure out new and creative ways. There's lots of parents out of there that are running like daily activities that they're suggesting to parents. So please follow one of them. I'm posting them on Facebook so that you can follow one of those. But this is just an overall tip or a trick that you can use just to really hone in on your own child and see, how does this work? And as I say, this book, if you're in the Netherlands, it's a Dutch book, Hokjes maybe, actually, now that I think about it. But it's about all of the kind of out of the box thinking about the way we do art, and how we can think about different concepts that come into art, and how art actually transcends the subject of drawing and actually moves beyond that into lots of different spheres. And he likes music, and he wants to learn the guitar, and just learning number sequencing and how sounds match together. That works in such an artistic way. So I thought, this is a really good thing to show you. I can't find his art book right now because he drew actually more than I've ever seen him draw in his life. I think it's the most he's ever drawn. And he came up and he was like, no, it wasn't that great. I didn't really like it. His book says otherwise, so I'm happy. So let's say that. And then you will have seen, if you watched the video earlier, you would have seen my monster bubble writer. I love bubble writing as a kid. I learned to do it about my son's age. And from then on, every chance I got, I can put bubble writing into something. Now people will say, oh, but it's not very mature and it comes across whatever. Poo-hoo to you. Bubble writing is amazing. So I bought this book for myself. It's my monster bubble writing because I really wanted to expand my bubble writing techniques. There are techniques, people, to bubble writing. Bet you didn't know that. And so I thought it would be really nice to share this with my son. He got super frustrated because he couldn't get it straight off the bat. Because apparently there's a technique to bubble writing. Bet you didn't know that. And so I sat with him and we sat for maybe 20 minutes and we just practiced one letter, just doing it in different styles and just helping him to see it. And yeah, it was really great. It's a great bonding exercise because it's something that I love. And so this is the other one. So my tips and tricks for today really is to include art as part of a foundational element to your learning. And don't think that, if you're making Play-Doh from scratch, that doesn't mean that they're not learning, because of course they're counting measurements, they're adding things together, they're working out percentages, and you can talk about all of these things while making the Play-Doh. And then of course you can talk about space and how you inhabit that space, and you can break it into different shapes so they can learn shapes and colors, and they can do mixing. If you don't have that many food dyes at home, you can mix food dyes to see what colors you get. And all of these things are learning techniques for children. They expand the way that they think. So don't feel like if I'm doing an art project, I need to add loads more other stuff because they're not learning. Think about how that art project can be used instead to teach them other things. So that's my tip for today. I really hope that you have a successful day. Please note that today was successful, considering yesterday it was really just didn't go very well. So see, you can turn it around. It really is about your attitude. I believe in you. I know that we can do this. I know that we can get through this homeschooling thing. I know that we pay teachers, not enough to invest in our children, but we can do this. We can absolutely love our children, spend time with our children, educate our children. We can do it. And when it's too much, we can take a break, we can play games, and we can lie on the floor and we can watch a cartoon. It will be okay. I believe in you. Let's do it together. Okay, have a blessed one. #homeschooling. Let's do it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.